The GX7 will utilize a couple different methods to integrate into your ISO bus to appear on your virtual terminal and your monitor. This right here is the Green Star single product rate controller. It's the most common one that we run into. Coming off the rate controller, you have your round 37 plug. This will go to your pump system, and then you will also be looking for your ISO plug here. So this is your square connector. This is your 2-pin power cable. Looking at the cable that would be on your implement, this would be the mating end that your Green Star would plug into, or if you're not on a green bar, if you're using another kind of bar, the harness that would then plug into the back of the tractor should have this ISO adapter on it. So what you are going to want to do is we will give you this adapter cable. This will just plug in line. So instead of plugging your ISO directly from your Green Star to your implement or to the back of the tractor, we're just going to put this in line. And then you'll still plug in your 2-pin power here. And then this 4-pin coming off, this is what we will be taking the ISO off of. On your module that you have, this is the GX7 module. Coming off the harness, you will have the mating 4-pin plug that says ISO. And then you will go ahead and you will plug that in. And then from there, your GX7 will show on your virtual terminal. Now, if you aren't using anything that's Green Star, then say if you're going into a case, either the 2000 series early risers, or if you are going into the 1200 series planners, there are two different types of adapter cables. They look very similar. This green one in my right hand is for the early riser series. Plugging in is similar to the John Deere, to where you will have to find the adapter on your planner. This tap cable will go in, and then your 4-pin will plug into the module. When it comes to the 1200 series, same thing. You'll also have that 4-pin to where your ISO will plug into. Now, if you're running anything else, let's say if you're going into an ag leader monitor or into a Trimble monitor, even sometimes a Green Star monitor, and you don't have those adapter fittings that I showed you, you need to check and see if your implement has that. So if you don't have it, what you will then do is you'll go into, some guys call this the IBBC, some guys call it the IBIC. This is typically on the back of the tractor. This you will plug into a fitting like this on the back of your tractor. When you open this up, this is what that plug looks like. And if this is already being used, you cannot Y off of it. You will have issues with priority with other components, and it just won't work. So if this is already being used, either add another one if you can, or else you won't be able to integrate through this IBIC port. Coming off the other end of the IBIC port, this is that 4-pin. This is what would plug into our module. This is your 2-pin that will go to power. This will come off of the battery of the tractor for 12 volt. And then this is a terminator. You won't mess with this. We have this plugged in for you, so you can just leave that alone. And then when it comes to the GX7 module, this is what you're going to be looking at. This is your harness that's coming off. So we already talked about this 4-pin ISO plug and how that adapts to your virtual terminal. The second plug on here will be for speed. If you are not going to be using the speed off of your array controller, let's say on a Green Star, if you're using the Starfire Globe, you can use that with the GX7, no problem. But if you don't have that with an ag leader or a Trimble, you don't have whatever GPS, we will provide one for you, and then you can use that with the system. The last plug you're looking at here says CAN bus. The flow meters that we use, they run off of a CAN bus protocol. This would be the plug that you would use for those flow meters. So let's say first I'm going to plug in this Y cable. In this scenario, I'm going to find the mating plug, which is this female end here. You will see right here, this piece is a terminator. You will want to have this terminator plugged in. If this terminator isn't connected somewhere in the line, it doesn't matter where, but it's got to be connected somewhere in this CAN bus line, and the system won't work. So in this case, I just have it by the module. And then I'll have this last piece coming off. Let's say if you're using a larger implement, 8 rows, 16 rows, however many rows, you might have multiple Ys that you're running to go over to the different flow meters on the implement that you're on. In this case, I just have one flow meter. So let's say if I needed to extend the signal, I'll take this extension cable here. I'll then plug it into the Y. And then this is the multi-flow flow meter itself. This is one bank or one flow meter. This one flow meter can read 4 rows. These are your ports. The top is the feed, the bottom is the outlet, and there are 2 plugs on the flow meter. This plug on the right side of the flow meter, you will not plug anything into it. This plug on the left side of the flow meter that has this silver sticker that says 12 volt, this is the only end you will plug anything into the flow meter at. So coming off the cable that I just plugged in, it's going to go into the side of the flow meter, and then the flow meter will be powered. And then on your mod or on your rate controller, you can then put in the settings that you need for your flow meters to properly read.